So what I'm going to demonstrate in this video is how you can use the OneDrive Assignments app to attach a document from OneDrive to an assignment so that students can annotate on it and it doesn't make any changes to your original. They can submit it and you will be able to see their work. So what we're going to do to get started is we're going to find a place where we want to create this assignment. So let's just say we want to put this in our Wednesday folder. So I'm going to go into Wednesday and I'm going to put it underneath my math exit ticket over here. You can see here, by the way, as I bring my cursor below the existing assignment or assessment that's in here, this is going to allow me to add an assignment directly where I want it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Assignment. When you click Add Assignment, you're going to be filling out a number of different pieces of information, and you will also see something called the OneDrive Assignments app over here if you have installed it from the App Store within Schoology. If not, you can look at one of my previous videos to see how to install this and make it available to all your courses. So what you're going to do here in this new assignment window is you're going to fill out some basic information about this particular assignment. And over here in description, you can give some instructions as to what the students are going to do. Because this might be something new to the students, in addition to putting instructions as to what you want them to do for the assignment, I would also suggest including instructions on how they're actually going to submit it. So you can see here I've included instructions as to what they're to do on this particular document that I'm going to attach, and I've also included some instructions on exactly how they are going to submit this assignment. First-time students, especially younger students, might find the process a little bit daunting, so you might want to walk them through it the first time they're doing this. And then once you have your assignment instructions and you also give them some tips on how to actually do this, you're going to come down to this app over here that says OneDrive Assignments. Now, the first time you use this, you might be prompted to log in using your Office 365 credentials, but if you are on a computer that you've logged into Office 365 before, it will probably find it automatically. So this is going to give you easy access to everything that you've stored in OneDrive. So you're going to go to the folder or the file, and we're going to attach this. And once you arrive at the location of your file in OneDrive, you're just going to click on it, and then you're going to click Attach. So you can see here it's attached to the assignment, and it also tells you this will create a copy of your file for each student, which means when they open it, they can make changes to it, but it will not affect your original. I would suggest setting a due date just so that it shows up in the calendar and the reminder pane for students so they know what they need to do. So you're going to select a due date. A category is required. If you don't have any categories, you can create a new grading category, even if you're not technically grading it, and you'll just be able to type it in when you click Create New Grading Category. I'm just going to type this as classwork. You can include a point value, or you don't have to include a point value. It's totally up to you. And then the other part of it that is required is already set up for you. Factor, you don't need to really change anything else. And then you're going to click Create. So now this assignment has been created. Unfortunately, you can't really see what it's going to look like from the student standpoint by clicking on it. So I'm going to jump on over to one of my test students so you can see exactly what the students are going to see. So now I'm logged into Schoology as my test student, as you can see over here. I'm going to show you what this assignment looks like from the student standpoint. You get an idea of what is involved and what the students will need to do. So here is the Wilson Reading Worksheet that the students are going to fill out. So he's going to click on this, and this is going to load in this screen. Now, the first time the students do this, particularly if they're on a computer that is not a school computer, they might have to use their Office 365 credentials to actually access the document. So they get their instructions here. They have their instructions on what to do, so they have to click on the My Document, and that's what we're going to do here. We click on My Document. This little area down here is supposed to show a preview of the document, but if it doesn't show the preview of it, what they're going to do is they're going to click on the Sign In button over here. So what this does is it connects Schoology to their Office 365 account. Normally, it will pick that information up automatically, and you can see that it's right there. The only time they would have to put in and actually type in their Office 365 credentials is if they were working on a computer from home. So now that they see it here, the next option over here is to click Edit, which is something I forgot to include in my instructions. So when they click Edit, now they're going to see a copy of the document that they're going to be working on. And as soon as it loads, they will be able to type directly into this document. Because we are working in the online environment, they don't have to click save or anything like that. They're just going to bring their cursor where they need to type, and they're going to type in their answers. And you can see here, up here, it changes from saved to saving and vice versa as they start to type. So they will just do this and continue on. I do suggest when you attach documents for this type of lesson that you keep the amount of information on the screen, on the page, very minimal. Don't include tables. If there was a line here for the students to write on top of, I would get rid of that because they're going to have to do it themselves. Just leave it blank. So you might have to do some editing of your Word document before you actually attach it for the students. Once the students are done with this, let's say, this is where they might get a little bit confused. Okay, they're done with it. Now what do? You can see here, this is the document. It's open in this tab. Schoology is still open in the previous tab over here. So once they're done working on this, all they need to do is close this tab. They will not see the changes here, which may, freak them out a little bit. So if they want to be able to see the changes, they can refresh the screen, although it's not necessary, but they might just want to do it just to make sure that everything that they typed is actually going to appear in that little preview box. But all they really need to do once they close that Word document out is to submit it. So now you can see after I refreshed, all the changes that I made are there, and I am ready to submit it. So the document has been submitted. So if I now jump over to my teacher standpoint, I can actually see how my students did on this by going back over to the assignment and clicking on it. And I will have an option to view students' progress if they have worked on it but they haven't submitted it yet. So any student who has opened the document, you can see here the student has not opened the assignment yet, but if I come over to submissions, I will be able to see anybody who submitted it. And this is my test student who did submit it. And you can see here, I can see how they did. I can see what they did. I could put a grade in here if you were giving a grade. If you leave it ungraded, you're not going to get that option. But you also can put a comment on here and leave feedback. So that's really the skinny on how to attach a document from OneDrive and how the students would actually access it. Again, the steps are a lot the first time they do it, especially for younger students. So you might want to really walk them through it the first time they do this until they get the hang of it.